thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. And that song takes me back to what Paul told the church in Rome almost 2,000 years ago at this point. Paul wrote to them, and in the 8th chapter, the 28th verse, he said, for those who love God, all things work out for good. Now, clearly, things aren't good when tragedy strikes. And I don't ever want to blame God for the tragedy. But God is the ultimate at recycling the garbage of this life into things that can be used for good, not just in our lives, but in the world at large. And it's what enables a Horatio Spafford to write that song about whether times are good or sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my lot, you've taught me to say, it is well with my soul. The love of God is apparent in so many different ways, and we need to take time to contemplate the beauty of the Lord and to seek his face, that one thing above all others the psalmist wanted. Which brings me to the Keith Green song. The song is appropriately entitled, O Lord, You're Beautiful. And Keith sings, O Lord, You're beautiful. Your face is all I seek. And he recognizes when your eyes are on this child, your grace abounds in me. And the psalmist says, how can I sing a happy song with what's happened to me? The lyrics are, by the rivers of Babylon, we sat and wept for Zion. Zion is the hill that's the central feature of ancient Jerusalem. We sat and wept for Zion. By the willows, we hung our harps. For there our captors demanded of us songs of joy and mirth. How can we sing songs of joy? If I forget you, Jerusalem, may my right hand lose its skill. May my tongue be stuck in my mouth. The psalm goes on to say, happy will be he who does to you, Babylonians, what you did to us, who takes your infants and dashes them on the rocks. But Joel doesn't end the song there. He processes through the grief to the hope and adds a good biblical chorus of now we wait for a better day when the Holy One returns to restore eternal Jerusalem and to bring his people home. I think the song may come from Psalm 6, verse 2. It certainly echoes it to me. Psalm 6, verse 2 is a psalm where the psalmist is just in the pits. And the psalmist writes to God, it says, my soul is languishing. Umlam in Hebrew, it just feeble. It just feels horrible and calls on God as the healer of his soul. And that's the name of the song, Healer of My Soul. It's by a fellow named John Michael Talbot. And the song walks through God's creation as you speak. 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. And I love that. This idea that if the stars are made to worship God, certainly I should. And the song continues, I can see your heart in everything you've made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. Because those stars not only proclaim the praise of God, but that speaks to who we are and God's love for us. As God said in Psalm 8, he made us. And in light of this great and glorious world, we should see humanity made as special by God. And so, if creation's going to sing the praises of God, so will I. And then he's got this little added lyric in there. God of salvation, you chased down my heart through all of my failure and pride. On a hill, you created the light of the world, abandoned to darkness to die. And as you speak, it's not simply 100 billion stars, galaxies are born, but here it's, and as you speak, 100 billion failures disappear. Where you lost your life so I could find it here. If you left the grave behind, so will I.